the event of an emergency, please exit through the savory entrance or through the hallway to the right of the stage. Please open any cans, bottles, or crinkly snack bags you have at this time. Though photography or video recording of this performance is not allowed, we all know that the best publicity for a show in the Hollywood Fringe is word of mouth. So if you enjoy the show, please leave them a great review on their Fringe page. Now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Welcome to my show. Welcome to my show. I have too many feelings. I have too many feelings.
Will you quit singing and just give the pre-show announcement? Yeah, totally. Friends, thank you so much for being here to witness me in this black box of my emotions. I know you're all wearing masks, but just remember that the most important thing is to not mask your emotions. If you enjoy this show, I would love it if you voted for me for Best Solo Performance and reviewed this show on the Hollywood Fringe Festival website and give me a review on Better Lemons. Thank you so much, and may God have mercy on your soul, if you're into that sort of thing.
Now, you may be thinking that I'm either a 14-year-old boy or a 35-year-old lesbian. This is a joke that I've been making ever since I cut my hair short a few years ago because I can't seem to help myself. Now, I've done stand-up comedy over the years, and recently my mom watched some of my new material. Bethany, when are you going to cool it with all the gay stuff? Mom, I'm gay. Yeah, but why do all your jokes have to be gay? Probably because of how you've reacted to me being gay. Look, being gay is much more accepted in society today, but I still feel the need to poke fun of the fact that I look like a stereotypical lesbian. Sure, it's all in good fun, but to be honest, this internalized shame that I've carried since I was a child is still active within me. I was a tomboy and always felt more masculine. I thought that because I had romantic desires for women, which started at age 7, that I would have to be a boy in order to make those fantasies a reality. Because for me to like another girl, I mean, my mom didn't even have to say anything. She just gave off homophobic vibes. Like when I wanted to go and sleep over at one of my friends' houses, she always seemed a little suspicious. Well, did they ask you or did you ask them? It's so funny, a mother's intuition, isn't it? She clearly knew I was gay well before I did. I wasn't even thinking of my friends in a sexual way. Yet. So, because my mom only bought me feminine clothes, I had to get my t-shirts and baseball hats from other sources. Bethany, your dad is on his way over to pick you up for the weekend. Listen to me though. If he seems like he's high on drugs, I don't want you getting in his car. Hey, slugger! Want to do some shopping today? Hey, thank God my dad was addicted to prescription opiates because he bought me whatever clothes I wanted. No sooner was I drawing beards on my face with Crayola markers too. Bethany, what are you doing? You look like a guy. Mom, I'm just being funny. This didn't last long. My mom looked pretty creeped out when she would see feminine men or masculine women in public or on TV. And I processed this as any child would and must have decided that I'm going to have to look slightly more like a girl in order to be accepted. I didn't want people to think I was creepy. Then I developed the same feelings that my mom had, and I also felt creeped out, mainly by masculine-looking women. And so, Jesus. Look, my mom was my main point of reference, okay? And not taking on her same feelings about things wouldn't have felt emotionally safe.
Oh, you poor baby. Your mom looked at you funny.
Sorry, that was my inner critic. Demon Debbie. She likes to sneak in sometimes, especially when I'm discussing my personal hardships.
Are they really hardships? I mean, I've known parents who were so much worse than yours.
I'm not complaining, Debbie. I'm just telling my story. By the way, my mom is no longer homophobic, okay? She's evolved.
Exactly. So what is this plight that you're on about?
I'm just giving the audience some reference for my shame, Debbie.
Seems like you're trying to have a pity party.
Damn it, Debbie, can you just let me try and be vulnerable for once? So the tomboy phase sort of fizzled out before I was a teenager because I was too embarrassed to dress more masculine, even though I would have preferred to.
Hold on a minute. Are you ashamed because you're gay or because you have some kind of gender dysphoria?
I don't know, Debbie. I'm actually still trying to figure that out.
Well, I'm confused as shit, and the audience probably is too.
Can someone escort Debbie out of here, please? No one? Okay. That's okay. That's okay. I had desires, you know, and I felt weird for having them. My fear of being perceived as creepy clashed with my inner urge to dress like a boy and have crushes on girls, which created this deep yearning within me, but also amplified this foundation of shame. Now, of course, I wasn't consciously aware of this at the time, and being raised in the Catholic Church likely didn't help. I had a lot of guilt about anything and everything.
As you should have.
I also remember feeling like I had a duty to save people who were sad, make people feel better. Now, I didn't know how to make them feel better, but I just always felt responsible for other people's feelings. Which is funny because I had my own feelings. So when they had their feelings, it just perpetuated my feelings.
I get it, you have feelings.
Right. So I was raised by my mom, and I also have a much older sister, and I love them dearly. Hi, guys. But they fought constantly, and sometimes things would get violent. So it felt painful to watch this ongoing tumultuous relationship between the two humans that I was closest with. I had zero control over their interactions, but I did try and comfort them both, each at different times. Mommy, are you okay? Sissy, are you okay? Pretty impressive, right?
Oh yes, super impressed. Get back to the shame.
Okay, they say that guilt is a feeling that follows doing something bad, and that shame is a feeling of just plain being bad. Well, regardless, both of these feelings are horseshit. I mean, seriously, what a waste of energy. But if you're someone who doesn't have any underlying feelings of shame, I have to ask you, how do you spend your time? Because I spent the better part of 35 years feeling sorry for others and myself, which doesn't feel very productive. Don't worry though, I'm in therapy. I don't really think you were worried, but if you are, I hope you're in therapy too, because you may also have too many feelings.
After 18 years, you still have a shit ton of them.
So how do I navigate them without allowing them to dominate my life? I have important things that I want to accomplish. I want to have my own TV show and maybe write a book.
You can't even read a book.
It's my ADHD. It makes it tricky enough already. Okay.
Yeah, and it's bad enough you spent the last 10 years getting stoned.
Hey, it's me, Ganj. Bethany will smoke the shit out of me, and then eat 5,000 calories in a single evening. She'll go to the Del Taco drive-thru, and by the time she's home, she has piles of Impossible Meat, avocado, and tomatoes all over her crotch.
But we'll delve into that later. I'm gonna try and go in order, okay? Because my brain needs some kind of structure or I'm likely to fly all over the place.
It's true. Listening to Bethany trying to tell a story is like, God, would you get to the friggin' point already?
Debbie, be nice. So Daddy's had a lot of shame.
Quit calling yourself Daddy.
I can't, it makes me giggle.
Can't you just be honest without also trying to be funny?
I really can't.
You mean you're not willing?
Using humor to talk about vulnerable matters feels so much better to me than discussing them in a sincere way.
Oh, sounds like your actual daddy.
Bethany, I know I wasn't emotionally available for you when you were young. You know, I mean, you wanted my attention, and all I wanted to do was get high on pain medication. I didn't know how to be present with you, but I did buy you a lot of presents. Bethany, since my dad dropped out of a heart attack when I was 12, I didn't know what to do with emotions, so I just blocked them off and made jokes. Joking is how I've survived this long. Really is a miracle I'm still alive, you know. Remember when we went on that roller coaster 2 weeks after my heart attack? I love you so much. See this? I still call this the Bethany Punch. My dad's motto is, feelings aren't real, let's make jokes. Which, if I'm being honest, was a nice distraction from my feelings. But I had many. I couldn't shove them down far enough to pretend like they didn't exist. Growing up, I desperately wanted everyone around me to get along, so I tried to be helpful and agreeable. By trying to regulate everyone else's mood, I felt more safe. I also learned how to diminish my own feelings because the chaos happening within my family felt more pressing.
Oh my God, can we lighten the mood a little here?
Hell yes.
You just couldn't resist, could ya?
Okay, Debbie, you're never satisfied with anything I do, so why do you even bother giving me feedback? That's what I thought. I don't remember exactly when I started to use humor to cope with my feelings and ease tension in a room, but I remember people getting a kick out of my dance moves when I was really little. It was the early 90s, and my teenage sister used to blast popular radio hits, so I often felt the urge to bust a move.
Hey, Sissy! Look at me! Look at me, Sissy!
God, you're an annoying little shit. Suck it, Debbie. Getting my friends to laugh became a priority too. Whether it was making a silly face, or sticking cheese curls up my nose, or exposing my butt cheeks. Nothing felt better to me than getting a good chuckle. So, my favorite way to cope with icky feelings was to have sleepovers with my friends.
Oh, I'm so glad you had the time of your life.
Oh my God, are you my old sleeping bag?
The name's Billy, okay? Billy the Bag. Now listen here. When you were off acting like a party clown, I was getting ridiculed by Rainbow Bright and the Care Bears. What? Yeah, the sleeping bags called me Stinky Billy. You know why?
Because you smelled like pee?
You're damn right I did.
Jeez, Billy, I'm sorry, I was young and I had bladder problems. What was I supposed to do?
Give me a bath for one thing. You left me in a urine-soaked heap in the corner of your room.
I lost you.
Not often enough to keep up with your leaky pipes. The smell permeated my threads so much so that even when I was washed, the stench never came out.
Billy okay? What do you want from me?
I don't want nothing. In fact, keep your distance. You've had a lot of water.
So why are you here?
I needed to express these resentments that I've been holding on to over all of these years. I thought I was gonna blow. I felt bad for yelling at you. Maybe I should have done what my therapist suggested and just wrote you a letter that I was gonna burn.
No, Billy, I mean, you're right. I was a terrible owner and didn't take care of you.
All right, kid, cold it with the guilt. I forgive you. But I like this expressing myself then. I'm gonna keep doing it. Toodles!
Bye.
Talk about shameful.
Clearly, I had learned how to use a toilet, but I just never woke up in the middle of the night when I had to pee. I don't know why. I always told my friends that I had a bladder problem. And I was too embarrassed to wear Depends or Good Nights, diapers, essentially. You know, I didn't want people to see this giant bulge.
It's like dick envy? That's ironic.
Thus, there were no beds, couches, or floors in the greater Pittsburgh area that were safe from my urine. Now, I did go to a doctor when I was young for my bladder, but nothing seemed to really help. When I turned 14, though, bedwetting just stopped. I'd gone through puberty, and then I started waking up in the middle of the night when I had to pee. It was incredible. I didn't feel and smell like clammy pea skin anymore.
Until recently, that is.
It's good timing, too. I sound the alarm because I am 35 and I am having bedwetting issues again. Wow. Yeah. It's hard to say that out loud. Let me try again. I'm bedwetting again. Weren't you more attracted to me the second time I said it?
Nobody's attracted to you right now. Oh, and also, I'd be careful if I were you guys. Yeah, you're in the splash zone. Watch out. Watch out.
You're not in the splash zone. You're really coming for me. Bring me a poise pad. A few years ago, I was telling a friend about my childhood bedwetting, and her response was, "Oh my God, you must have had so much anxiety as a kid." And my brain exploded. That's it. I was an anxious kid. That's why I wet the bed, right? Maybe because I was gay and afraid. Maybe because my mom and sister fought all the time. Maybe because my dad wasn't emotionally available and wetting the bed was my plea for love and attention.
Boy, were you misread about how to receive love and attention.
Now I realize that my friend probably meant that I had anxiety because I wet the bed, not as a reason for wetting the bed. Example, what if I pee on a friend at a sleepover?
You have, by the way.
After doing some research, self-help pioneer Louise Hay says that bladder problems are physical manifestations of anxiety, holding on to old ideas, fear of letting go, being pissed off. Although I don't remember being pissed off as a kid.
Dude, you used to pretend that you were Fred Durst and would scream angry Limp Bizkit lyrics in your bedroom.
Okay, that's true. Oh, but Debbie Hanson is my favorite band of all time, and was, so I wasn't totally full of rage, okay? When I was 11, I fell in love with 3 beautiful blonde girls. You know, the ones that sang that absurdly catchy song, Mbop. Oh yeah.
This was before their balls dropped.
Yeah, Debbie, I think that I was probably more comfortable being in love with boys because they looked like girls. At 35 though, I'm still a diehard Hanson fan.
And you thought the bedwetting was pathetic. Tell them all you know, Hanson lover.
Okay. They've been a band for over 25 years. They have their own record label. They write their own lyrics, play their own instruments. They are all married. Isaac has 3 kids, Taylor has 7 kids, and Zach has 5 kids because they're evangelical Christians and don't believe in condoms. They're good, wholesome fucking guys. I've seen them over 15 times in concert, and I met them in 2018 and expressed my feelings to them in person. In fact, because of Zach Hanson right here, I started taking drum lessons when I was 14. And thanks to my mom, who forced me to join the marching band, being in drumline was my favorite part of high school. It brought me a lot of joy, and it allowed me to, bang out my feelings.
That's enough, that's enough. You're a little rusty.
It's been a minute. Thank you.
You know what's sad? Hanson was just the beginning of your infatuations.
Did I have all these feelings because I had infatuations? Or did I subconsciously create these infatuations to distract myself from having other feelings? One of my oldest fantasies is standing on a stage and singing powerful, romantic love ballads to all of my past and current romantic infatuations.
Nope, don't do it. You're not doing it to these people. Just tell them about Miss Spitzer.
I was 15, and Miss Spitzer was the most magical, soul-shaking human I had ever witnessed. All right, guys. For homework this weekend, I want you all to read the first 5 chapters of The Red Badge of Courage. Bethany, do you have a question?
You kept a notebook describing what she wore every day. Remember when you didn't want to seem creepy?
I also wrote about our interactions and how they made me feel.
Like a giant tool?
It was earth-shattering when she would look into my eyes. I would walk past her classroom sometimes on my lunch break just to sneak a peek, and then go and cry in the bathroom. I had the deepest yearning just to be in her presence. So I would be walking down the hallways in school, and it just felt like there was this hot knife just sliding in and out of my chest.
Thank God you burned that notebook.
Thank you, God. Before my obsession with Miss Spitzer, though, I just daydreamed. I daydreamed throughout my entire school experience.
Oh, you were a friggin' space cadet. I don't know, you got decent grades.
I don't either, and I can't believe that I wasn't diagnosed with ADHD until I was 33. Doctor, I think I probably have ADHD. Bethany, you absolutely have ADHD. For years, I joked about having the attention span of a goldfish, but this diagnosis could have been more useful when I was young, right? I mean, maybe I would have learned a couple techniques on how to focus on something for more than 8 seconds. Bethany, having ADHD can be detrimental to someone's mental health. Perhaps this is where your anxiety and depression has stemmed from. When I was a junior in college, I experienced clinical depression, I think, for the first time. It felt different than regular sadness. It was like I was wearing these really dark sunglasses that just wouldn't come off. My semester was getting busier, and I couldn't concentrate on anything, let alone feel positive. I wanted to feel better, I didn't know how.
What's up, baby girl? You're feeling down in the dumps, but guess what? Prozac is here to help give you a boost. Not like an amphetamine. Not like an amphetamine. I'm just gonna even you out. Within a few days, you're gonna be seeing sunshine and rainbows again. Now, I don't always work this quickly, but your metabolism is fire, girl. Plus, you are determined to feel better. We're gonna make a great team.
So I started taking Prozac, and within a few days, I started to see the light again. Now, maybe it was a placebo effect, but I felt like I was on the road back to myself.
Don't forget to tell them about your neurotic behaviors leading up with the depression.
Yeah, well, I had some obsessive behaviors leading up to getting on Prozac.
You were doing 1,000 ab crunches a day, and you refused to eat any fat, which is hilarious because you were eating like a shit ton of carbs like cereal and fruit. Ew, fruit. Girl, fuck Debbie. Prozac is here to help lift your spirits and ease your obsessive compulsive behaviors. Let's eat some cheese again.
My abs had looked really good that semester. But more importantly, obsessing over my diet was not healthy for me mentally or physically. Thankfully, Prozac helped me to feel more grounded and calm, and it became more natural for me to experience pleasant feelings again.
And then you ruined it all with weed.
Whoa, Debbie, that hurts. I'm natural and come straight from the earth. Antidepressants are created in a lab and can be detrimental to people when they stop taking them.
I don't really think I ruined anything. I mean, at least I smoked more pot than drank alcohol.
Look, babies. I'm not here to make friends with anybody, okay? Prozac isn't here to like socialize with other chemical compounds.
Bethany, we have so much fun together. Prozac wants to hog you all to himself. I say, the more the merrier.
You wanted to have your cake and eat it too.
I never understood that saying.
Probably because you didn't let yourself eat cake.
Oh, I did when I was stoned.
When Bethany was young, she judged the shit out of me and the people who smoked me. But right before she graduated college, this urgent curiosity kicked in. And when she took that first toke, ooh, that's nice. I think I'll have another. Wasn't long till she was buying dime bags on the streets of Brooklyn from strangers. She felt alive when she smoked me. It was me that gave her permission to get extra silly at parties. I lit up this inner zany, uninhibited goofball, and I distracted her from her worries. We were floating in the clouds, man. First, she smoked me just a couple nights per week, and then she was never sober at parties. She would make everybody laugh, eat all their snacks, and then end up at a diner at 3 a.m. eating pie and ice cream. Now, I'm harmless, but at some point it's like, all right, Bethany, let's play it cool, man. I think you had enough puffs for one night.
Before cannabis was widely accessible, any social gathering I attended had to know if Mary Jane was there. You just discreetly sidle up to someone at a party and, hey, is Mary here by any chance? She isn't? Oh no, it's cool. It's cool. I was just thinking about her earlier. I was always thinking about her. Tell her I say hi. Mary had me by the balls. Okay,
And your balls haven't dropped yet, so she was like way up in there.
we have so much fun together, Mary Jane and I.
I'm on the toilet room.
My feet are tingling. I'm so comfortable right now.
Goodbye, horses.
A weird moment with the lesbian and her cat.
We have great times. In typical me fashion though, I always felt a little guilty for smoking it.
I can't believe you're smoking weed. You're killing your brain cells. You're losing motivation. What if you end up like your dad and spend your life high instead of accomplishing your goals?
For years, I sought reassurance from other potheads that, first of all, weed wasn't even a drug, and I couldn't get addicted to it. I just enjoyed smoking it. What is the big deal? I still worked, paid my bills, and found time to be creative, you know?
Exactly, man, so let's party!
Ganj? It's kind of hard for me to block the reabsorption of serotonin when your THC molecules attach to Bethany's endocannabinoid receptors and ignite her reward system.
Huh?
To be fair, I don't actually know what combining substances and antidepressants did to my brain chemistry. But a few years ago, I had a little nervous breakdown. Prior to this breakdown, I ditched Prozac for a new medication called Celexa because Prozac had lost its effectiveness for me over time. I was also approaching the 1-year mark into my relationship with a lovely woman named Dana. Never before had I made it past a year in a romantic relationship, so this had become a huge source for my anxiety. Oh my God, oh my God, oh shit, we've been together for almost a year. Oh my God, am I actually happy? Wait, do we spend too much time together? Oh my God, is she in love with me or is she in love with my potential? Oh my God, do I have to break up with her? Oh shit, something's not right. Something has to change. Oh no, what if this is a premonition? What if my mom's gonna die? Oh my God, I have to call and make sure my dad's still alive. Also note that I had been drinking hard liquor and smoking weed to excess a few nights per week. And cold brew coffee from Starbucks had become a daily habit.
Exactly. What did you think was going to happen?
I was trying to enjoy my life, damn it. That said, the combination of these things, I think, maybe perpetuated some of the anxiety in my newly discovered generalized anxiety disorder. Every morning, my heart raced for hours and tears would pour down my face as I feared that I would either need to end my relationship or my restaurant job. Something needed to end in order to ease this friggin' anxiety. Thankfully, though, I went to the psychiatrist before I made any big decisions. Okay, Bethany, so first I'm going to prescribe you 1 month's worth of Klonopin. Klonopin is addictive though. My dad's been on pain pills his whole life. Is this a good idea? This is only temporary, okay? We need to get a hold of your current severe anxiety. Then I think switching from Celexa to Zoloft would be a good idea. Apparently Zoloft was similar to Prozac, which, if you recall, had done me well for several years. What's up, honey? I know you are struggling right now. Listen, just give me a few weeks to work on your brain chemistry, and you'll be feeling right as rain in no time, okay? Switching to Zoloft was a great idea. And even though I felt uneasy about taking Klonopin, it saved me during that brief period when my brain was going completely haywire. Look, my preference would have been talk therapy and deep breathing, but those approaches alone can only be so effective when there's a severe chemical imbalance.
Now that we have the medication stuff figured out, I think it's time you start being nicer to your body.
God? Is that
Call me Edgar. I'm your inner being, your deepest knowing, guiding you through life, making sure you keep growing.
you? Okay.
That hard liquor boozing and cold coffee brewing, You better cut that shit out.
Something told me to stop drinking hard liquor. And cold brew coffee.
But I was here to stay, baby, yeah!
Maybe a 2-month break from weed, but I couldn't justify giving it up. I loved it too much.
As far as Dana, she brings much less drama than you're used to in a partner, which has illuminated your own fears and anxieties. These problems that you've imagined are a direct result of your self-worth. You don't believe that you're worthy of love. And damn it, you are.
Oh shit, I don't love myself enough to be with Dana.
Just breathe. This isn't about Dana.
Then I bought a book called Learning to Love Yourself by a man named Gay Hendricks.
You would.
I had to. Gay Hendricks? That could have been my rock and roll alter ego's name. In this book, Hendricks describes walking through the wooded mountains of Colorado, plopping down under a tree and feeling his feelings so hard while crying and convulsing, with nothing but love and compassion for himself. That is the first time that I learned that I was to feel all of my feelings with zero judgment and love myself regardless. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't get myself to sob under a tree. But little by little, every time I had an undesirable thought or feeling, I would say to myself, I love you for feeling this feeling.
Even when you hated yourself?
I love you for feeling like you hate yourself. As weird as that sounds, it allowed some breathing room for my feelings. If I judged every feeling, every undesirable feeling that I didn't like, there was no space for compassion or self-acceptance. Dana and I stayed together for a whole 3 years, but when it ended, I realized that I had lost my identity in that relationship, just like I had with previous partners. My self-worth was entirely dictated by the validation I felt by being with Dana. After our amicable yet really painful breakup, a new friend encouraged me to check out a 12-step meeting on codependency. This particular meeting is meant to bring serenity to those who tend to lose themselves in relationships, often the result of a chaotic childhood and usually related to alcoholism or addiction in a loved one. But I prefer to describe codependency like this. Think of the movie The Human Centipede. Your mouth is sewn to the butthole of the person in front of you. And because you are attached to that person, you're going to end up eating their shit. That's not your shit. That's their shit. I know, Judy, right? You don't need to eat someone's shit in order to care for them. I mean, if it feels good to your soul, you can help them clean some of it up. But don't eat it. It doesn't belong in your body.
You are disgusting.
So are you, Debbie. One of the most important tools I learned from these meetings was acceptance. Acceptance of things does not mean that I have to like it. But if I want to change it, I have to accept it first. Similarly, owning my truths, I've learned, is imperative to loving myself.
Even your bedwetting?
Especially that. Take a look.
Bethany, you have to be first up in terms of how you did with it.
I'm having bedwetting issues again. And I thought maybe this alarm would wake me up in the middle of the night. It basically showed me when I had to go during moments that it was quite obvious. But I did notice that when I was having to go. So it was basically telling me that I'm right.
So would you use it going forward?
Probably not.
I don't think Travis liked me.
This girl pisses the bed.
I went on the doctors to see if they could help with my bladder issues. I did. But for the sake of my amusement and to practice acceptance, I was determined to tell them the full truth. They weren't able to help. But there are other medical advancements out there, and I do believe I will find one that works for me. I did get Botox inserted into my bladder, but that helped only briefly. But for 4 months, it was the youngest looking bladder.
I hate that fucking joke.
I have faith that I will find something that works for me. In the meantime, I love how that was so clearly a cue. In the meantime, I just, need to watch my water intake. Learning about acceptance and how to bring the focus back onto my own life allowed me to feel real serenity for the first time. And then everything changed. I met my soulmate at that very meeting, codependency.
That's not ironic.
Hear me out. Hear me out. After Dana and I broke up, okay, I went to my first and only psychic, Karen Sage. After telling me things about my family that she couldn't have possibly known, she says, "And Bethany, I have my dancing shoes for the wedding. Oh yeah, you're gonna get married. You're gonna get married, you're gonna have a house with a big backyard and a lot of pets. Oh yeah. And I think this woman, I think she already has a kid. Yeah. He's gonna love you. He's gonna love you. I think you're gonna meet her at the end of the year on your birthday." For months, every time I was on a dating app and I saw a woman with a kid, I would swipe right. Because what if it was her? I don't want to fuck with fate. Okay, now back to the woman at the codependency meeting. So it was about a week after my birthday, Karen Sage. There was a new woman at the meeting, and she was adorable. Her name is June. First, we smiled at each other in the snack room, then in the parking lot. Then I said hi, and then we went and got coffee. By the way, I wasn't actively searching for my future wife at this point.
Oh, no, not at all. You were just questioning if every woman you saw was the one. And June didn't even have kids, so it clearly wasn't her.
Yeah, but maybe she had a nephew or something. But she had such a delightful and welcoming spirit, so I was very intrigued. Before I continue though, there's one more thing that you have to know. This is very important. I love, more than anything, getting foot massages. More than sex even. Well, Dana, my ex, had a paralyzing foot phobia. She couldn't even look at a foot without feeling nauseous. I just wanted her to touch them, she couldn't. Anyways, it was a good relationship, but I can't deny the foot thing bummed me out. Okay. So June and I meet up at this adorable coffee shop, and then, I don't know, I began to feel swept away into this magical fantasy land. It's so lovely seeing you. Let's get coffee, and it's a gift shop too.
Oh, June.
I'm thrilled to have you near. Oh, let me pay for that.
Before we stop to chat, I brought you a small treat.
My God, that is so sweet. I don't even like musicals. I'm sorry to admit that in a theater of all places. But as soon as June and I started interacting, I felt this childlike wonder. Nothing else mattered except this lovely, innocent exchange of purely satisfying discourse.
That is the gayest thing I have ever heard.
That's homophobic, Debbie. Right as June and I sit down, she hands me a tiny silver envelope. A present you really shouldn't have. Look, a punch card for a free foot massage. No way!
It's Edgar again. I'm going to take over because Bethany can't finish this story without having a visceral reaction, taking long ass pauses and breathing heavy. This felt like divine intervention. She definitely hadn't told June that she loved foot massages. It was as if the universe slapped her right in the face and said, here she is. Don't screw this up.
June, how did you ever guess? Foot massages are just like crack to me.
I'm such a magic girl, a fairy in the trees. Your soulmate here to stay and fill your life with ease.
She didn't really say that, but Bethany didn't let this go quickly. There were lots of pauses and reiterations of, I can't believe you gave me a free foot massage. Throughout their coffee date, this conversation felt so special and unique. It was everything but small talk. She left there that day thinking, I'm going to fall in love with this person.
Thanks, Edgar. I needed you for that. I got this next part, though. A week after coffee, June and I went to a pumpkin patch. For 1 hour, we sat on hay that was sprinkled with turds and pet 8 goats, 5 bunnies, 2 piglets, and a llama. We both shared this passion for animals that resonated deeply in both of our souls in almost a mirrored way. That time in the pumpkin patch was the most elevated hour of my life. And I've been skydiving. Without a doubt, this was my soulmate. And get this, June was also a pot smoker, and I told her about my longtime guilt with it. I'm also into weed. I smoke it every day. You've swept my guilt away. Oh, June. I started, and that weird magical hand sweep motion that she did worked. Like I started allowing myself to smoke all the weed I wanted and leave the guilt behind. You know, I was smoking and feeling and painting and loving. The more love I felt for June, the more love I felt for myself.
Yet you still didn't know June's sexual orientation.
But our connection was undeniable. I mean, come on. That would have been like me walking into a Christian church and asking if they love Jesus. Asking her this seemed unnecessary.
Or maybe deep down, you were afraid to ask Your feelings were so powerful that if you discovered that hers weren't reciprocated, perhaps this spiritual awakening would have felt like a damn lie. Your heart was open and you felt truly alive. That's a scary thing to lose.
I mean, you're totally right, Edgar. I was so taken with June that I kept Googling the phrase twin flames. And then I bought a book called Soulmates.
Unlike any previous infatuations, you had zero doubts about your divine connection with June.
Zero doubts. June and I continued our journey, okay? We went to a farmer's market. We went to an ice cream shop. We slid down a giant bouncy slide. And we smoked Mary Jane out of a pipe that I had gifted her that was her favorite color.
Wow, hot and heavy.
Debbie, this felt so much deeper than sex. I mean, look, I was incredibly attracted to June, but it felt trivial to sexualize her. I almost forgot she had a vagina. A few weeks went by, and I recognized that I was always the one to reach out to June first. Maybe she was afraid, I thought. Also, there had been no obvious flirting, so maybe she didn't know how I felt about her.
Oh, come on. She wasn't Helen Keller.
I'm so sorry Debbie just said that.
A week before Christmas, you and June met for dinner. You felt empowered on your drive to the restaurant. After a few weeks of growing concern about June's feelings, I convinced you the most important thing to do was to tell her how you feel and accept the outcome.
June, I have to tell you something. June, you set my soul on fire. I've been in love with you since the first time I saw you at our meeting. She didn't really say that, I'm sorry. But as soon as the phrase soul on fire came out of my mouth, she grabbed my hand and said, Bethany, your soul is already on fire. It was a lovely response, but I wasn't sure what to do with it. I said something like, I know, but you said thank you? Then I thought, wait a minute, maybe she's not getting it. I needed to clarify. And June, just for clarity's sake, I feel for you.
I feel for you? That's something you say when someone's relative passes away.
But right before she responded, of course I interrupted her and I said, and June, I'm not telling you this to make you feel any kind of, pressure.
Come on, man. You just told her she sets your soul on fire. Own it. No takesies, backsies.
No, not at all. You could never make me feel like that.
And there you have it. You planted that seed, so all you gotta do is water it. You were on cloud 9 that night. It felt so good to tell June how you felt, and even better, that June received it so well.
What are you talking about? June didn't actually say anything.
A week later, I get a text from June telling me that she is leaving the country for an unknown period of time to film a TV show. Oh my God. I wish I could say that I was excited for her, but I was fucking devastated. How was I supposed to continue watering this flower if she was away in Canada? I mean, I knew it was gonna take a little while before anything romantic manifested, but I couldn't help but think there's no way she's gonna be open to us while she's away filming. So I asked her if I could see her one more time before she left. So she invited me over to her home to paint.
Hi. I'm one of the paintbrushes that witnessed the event. My name's Chip. They didn't use me see it all, so I just laid there and watched. Don't get too excited, though nothing sexual will happen. So I was the paintbrush that helped Bethany paint that giant fiery flame and the hearts and all, and the sobbing and crying over June, and now here June was, in the flesh. June was quirky, curious, a unique girl, that one. June was cute and all, but I don't know why Bethany was so obsessed. I mean, she had a pretty face and a nice body. And hey, Chip, don't talk about her body, or her face, or her body. I reversed those two. Understand? Relax, I'm just trying to paint a picture for the audience. Pun intended. So they were sitting there, and there was an awkward silence, and things felt awkward. And you could tell Bethany was just like playing it cool, like, oh, look at me, I'm just painting on June's floor. I'm not going to explode or anything.
Chip, can you be a little bit more tender when telling this story?
I mean, I can try, but I don't think it'll be as entertaining. You said I could be funny.
I did, but can you just not be a dickhead?
Sure. So after a long silence, things got juicier. Still no sex though, so get your mind out of the gutter. I could tell Bethany was dying to say something.
June, I know that you adore me as a person, but does that translate romantically at all for you? I don't think. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. Thank you for being honest with me.
What a climax, huh? Bethany put on a brave face and went to the can.
No, I had to pee, obviously, and release some emotions. After I caught my breath finally, while still sitting on the can, I realized something. I had more to say. June, I know that you don't share the same feelings that I have for you, but it's important that I tell you that you've opened something up inside of me. These last few months, you've had such an enlightening and positive influence on me. That time when we went to the pumpkin patch and we sat with the animals, I left there that day thinking, this is my soulmate. Having feelings for someone like you shows me that I'm growing because you're just such a special person.
Oh man, it was like an unrequited love scene out of a queer indie film. You were crying all over the paintings.
I wasn't crying on the paintings, Chip. I don't know what else to say except thank you. Thank you for being such a lovely human and for being so open with me. Even though June confirmed what I didn't want to hear, I had expressed my feelings to her without apologizing for them. I mean, I just really threw them all out there. Allowing myself to be that vulnerable felt incredibly cathartic.
I've been telling you for years that the most important thing is to share your feelings, to be honest, authentic, transparent, and kind. It's freedom from the shackles of the heart and the mind.
It's true. I felt such relief after sharing the details of my affection for June.
You see, June was a catalyst, a spiritual flame to light the ignition under Bethany's soul ass. Sometimes big changes can happen without an internal shift. And Lord knows that I needed a beautiful, intriguing woman to open her heart and mind.
This music. June left town a few days later. She left town, and I felt comforted now because I knew that I needed to move on. But those 3 months that I spent in that bubble of love,
Infatuation.
whatever it was, I was changed. I was broken open.
You could feel the bigger picture. Love.
Okay, but, you barely even knew June, so this was all just based on a feeling.
That's how it works, Debbie. Feeling changes us.
I talked things out with my therapist, Sheila. Sheila, I can't go back to how things were before June.
Well, how does that look like to you now?
Flat, uninspired, same old shit.
Well, how would you like things to be?
I think I need to leave LA for a while. I think I need to get out of here. I mean, maybe I should join the Peace Corps.
Well, I wasn't expecting you to say that.
Is that crazy?
Not at all.
Why don't you do some research on it?
Bethany, love, you're not joining the damn Peace Corps.
What the hell am I supposed to do then?
You're not ready to make plans yet. There's something holding you back.
I don't want to stop smoking weed.
You're going to have to leave guns behind if you want to get to where you're going.
Where am I going?
You'll never find out if you continue down this path. Guns can be fantastic for many people, but for you, Bethany, it's a hindrance. Sure, it's fun, but you know damn well that weed doesn't help your creativity. And to be honest, it's fogging up your heart and soul.
After talking to a few close friends, some of whom were already in recovery, I knew that it was time for me to be fully sober. There was one little error in judgment, however.
Dude, you got sober and weaned off of your antidepressants at the exact same time, you dipshit. And right before a pandemic, nonetheless.
Okay, Debbie, but you didn't know a pandemic was coming either. And you're the one that convinced me that I could function without Zoloft.
Well, you cannot function without Zoloft. Show 'em what happened.
Oh my God. Zoloft, I'm sorry. Come back to me, Zoloft. I'll never leave you again. That is a lesson that I have learned that I hope to never learn again. And to be totally honest with you, I could have never created this show had I not gotten sober.
Oh my God. Is this how you're gonna end the show? This is so cheesy.
And Debbie, you're not even real. You're just a constant stream of negativity that I've carried over the years. I mean, you're not even constructive criticism.
Bethany, you're the one that's been feeding me all these years.
And I want to unfeed you.
You can't get rid of me, you know. I'll always be lurking in the shadows.
I can accept that.
Huh?
Debbie, even though you are a bitchy little troll, somehow I know that you've just been trying to protect me all these years. Debbie, give me a hug.
You're out of your mind.
Bring it in, Debbie.
Oh my God. Oh my God, why are you doing this? I'm suffocating. Why are you doing this?
I have a lot of love to give Debbie, but I might as well give it to you.
Oh my God.
outside in a few minutes. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Thank you.